So obviously the finished product looks nice in a jewel case with lights on it, but there's a lot more to putting the spool together than just winding it on the package. So we actually have a steel analyst that works at Lincoln. His full-time job is to travel around the world scrutinizing or looking for steel suppliers. And so he really has two jobs. Number one, to look for new steel suppliers, and number two, being the watchdog of our current steel suppliers. They take a ladle sample and they look at the chemistry of the steel. Anywhere from 3 to 5 samples in a 250,000 pound heat. They average the chemistry over those samples, and that's what they come up with in their heat cert. What we do is we say, okay, the heat steel looks like it meets our specifications, but we want to be perfectly sure that every bundle meets that requirement. So a bundle of steel is a couple thousand pounds. We take a sample from the start end, the nose end, and the tail end, and we do our own QA analysis on that. So we put it in a spectrometer and we do our own chemistry. So we actually test steel 60 or 120 times more than what a steel supplier does. So we got a heat cert, looks great. Not that we don't trust you, but we want to verify it. And so we're going to test twice on every bundle of steel.
Do you own it at that point, or are you still like speculating whether you're going to buy it?
That's a great question. So why do we do this? You know, we do it for a lot of reasons. We own it at that point, but we have the right to return it, right? If it doesn't meet our QA specifications, and our aims are very, very tight, much tighter than what AWS even requires. So here's what AWS requires. We shrink those requirements, and we do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, we know how to make wire. We know what's going to run in our machines better and what's going to keep uptime and minimize wire breaks, and which could affect the end quality. And we do it we also know welding. We know what's going to refine the arc or make the arc characteristics better. Now, if you take a look at the history or some of our QA checks and how much we've actually rejected in the past, it's a very small percentage. It's less than 1%, less than 0.5%. But based on the sheer volume of finished product we put out there, that would mean that if we didn't check it, we'd be shipping a couple pallets every day that don't meet our requirements. We descale it, so that's water soluble paint. We descale it. We draw it down to finished diameter. Starting diameter is about 7/64 diameter, and we can draw it down all the way to 0.025 diameter. We copper plate it right before the finished draw, and we use a proprietary process to make sure that the copper adheres to the surface of the wire, and then we package it.